All right, for more on this race, let's talk to Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam. He's president of the Republican Governors Association. Sir, as luck would have it for governors, it's unlike the Senate Republicans who have a very good map this year. The governors' races for Republicans, tougher this year. One of them is down there in Georgia. Take a listen to President Trump attacking Stacey Abrams yesterday.
If Stacey Abrams gets in, your Second Amendment is gone. Gone. Stacey and her friends will get rid of it. Brian's opponent, Stacey Abrams, is one of the most extreme far-left politicians in the entire country.
So President Trump putting his thumb on the scale down there in Georgia. How do you see things as they shape up today?
Dana, first of all, it's good to be on your show.
Thank you.
I think you're exactly right. This is a race. We have a number of close governors' races around the country, but Georgia is definitely right there within the margin. A lot of people thinking it will go to a runoff. I would actually say, the president talked about his reason. I'd say this. I've actually competed with Georgia for the last 8 years for jobs, and Georgia's built on the history of Sonny Perdue, first for 8 years, and then Nathan Deal, to create a great economic climate. As a competitor, I would hope they go the other way, go with Stacey Abrams, because I guarantee you they won't attract as many jobs as they have been over the last 16 years under both Perdue and Deal.
Well, that's an important one. The other one we keep talking about is Florida, and it's such an important state, especially for 2020 and the upcoming redistricting that will happen after the census. Take a listen to Ron DeSantis, who is the Republican candidate down there.
I think the momentum is on our side. I don't think we could have asked for a better turnout for Republicans for mail and early voting, and we know we're going to get a good turnout on Election Day.
And Governor Haslam, and this is also Andrew Gillum who responded.
Y'all know what to do. It's just like driving a car. When you want to go forward, you put the car in D. If you want to go backwards, you put the car in R. I want to go forward. I want to go forward.
There's another highly watched race, very close down there in Florida. Your thoughts on that one?
Oh, that's clever by Andrew Gillum. But here's the reality. You look at Florida, they have been going forward, right? They've added 2.5 million jobs over the last 8 years under Governor Scott. The economy is booming. They're addressing some really serious issues down there. My question for Florida would be, why would you want to turn around? Again, remember one big change. Under the new tax plan, you can no longer deduct state and local taxes. So people from high tax states are now looking around to no income tax states like a Tennessee or a Florida or a Texas.
Right, people leaving New York and New Jersey to head down that way.
We've invited you down, Dana, so come on. I promise you'll save money. I promise you'll save money. But the point would be, Florida is one of those most attractive spots, and I don't know why you'd want to introduce a lot of new taxes to take away your biggest competitive advantage.
The other thing I wanted to ask you is just about the Rust Belt states, because President Trump owes his electoral win to those voters that came out for him in Wisconsin, Michigan, I'm forgetting one. Minnesota, I think, was another. Well, Minnesota didn't go for him, but Ohio, thank you. And all of those governor's races are really tight. The president won those races. 2 years later, could Democrats actually take the governor's races?
Well, as you know, there's a lot of differences in a midterm election year and a presidential election year. Typically, midterms are difficult on the party in power. Those are states have had a kind of had a blue history before the president did well in 2016. You're looking at a lot of close races. You just interviewed or had the Wisconsin race on there, which I think is really, really tight. Scott said it's the tightest race he's ever been in. He's been in a lot of them, and he knows how to win them. Ohio, I think, is about as tight as you can be as well. So, like I said, there's probably 10 governor's races out of the 36 that are within the margin of error. Tomorrow night, there's going to be a lot to watch. It could really swing either way. We're hoping people vote on results and what they see out of Republican leadership.
And my last question for you is, it'd be unlikely in years past for a Republican to win in a state like Connecticut or Oregon, but could you see that tomorrow night?
We actually think that's a real possibility. In Connecticut, we think as Republicans, we have 2 or 3 pickup opportunities. Connecticut and Oregon, Alaska is another one we think we have a shot, as well as Colorado. But Connecticut, all polls show that Stefanowski is actually ahead right now. So we feel really encouraged. You could actually have Republican governors in all of New England, which kind of goes against the grain.
And you mentioned Colorado, my home state, of course. There's a governor's race there as well. Governor Bill Haslam, thank you.
Thanks, Dana.